technical difficulties. I'm going to give everyone about a couple minutes or so to have the other people waiting to join. We are live now, so please give us a couple minutes for everyone else that wants to view the presentation or demonstration on the Ninja Total. Once again, thank you everyone for their patience. We are going to give a minute or two to wait for other people to log on and watch this demonstration on the Ninja Total. So please give us a minute or two. Sorry for the technical delay. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Ninja Total demonstration. Once again, sorry about our technical difficulties, but we're now up and running and ready to dive right in. My name is Ed, I work for Keyline USA, and I'm excited to share with everyone our Ninja Total, one of my favorite machines. Essentially, if there is a key out there, Ninja Total can cut it. We probably have a jaw or an adapter that can adapt to any sort of key that you kind of come across, and it's a very versatile machine. Not only does it have an X and Y axis, it also has a Z axis, so that's where you can get into some of the fun stuff like dimple and engraving keys. So I'm going to go over some of the basic features on the Ninja Total, and first starting with the login screen. If you watched our Gymkhana video a month ago, you're probably going to be familiar with this next process, but I'm going to go over it again. Whenever you turn on the machine, you'll have the option to log in as an administrator or user. If you have more than one person using the machine, it might be a good idea to change the user and add a couple different ones under their name. That way you can follow the statistics, you can follow what keys they cut, and just keep a general data stream on your employees when they use the machine. For our demonstrative purposes, we're going to log in as administrator. So when you go into administrator, you will have a password to type in. When you take the Ninja Total out of the box, the password is an empty password box. So all you have to do instead of typing in a code is just hit next. And that'll take us to our main menu. And as you can see, there's a lot of different options here, but the good news is that our software is the same on all of our machines for the most part, except the Messenger because that is an app on your phone. Most of our machines have this software. And as you can see here, our categories at the main menu are favorites, vehicles, cylinders, copy, archive, setup, search, and personal computer. Favorites is pretty self-explanatory. Favorites essentially, if you cut the same key, like let's say you cut a lot of Honda keys and it's using the same code series, you can save that to favorites so you don't have to go to code or vehicles right off the bat. You can just hit favorites, and then you can select the code that would be listed right there. Code series, I should say. And then you have vehicles, just like the Gymkhana video, searching by vehicles. I'll get into that more a little bit later. We also have cylinders. Cylinders is a big one, and for the Ninja Total, it's perfect that it's on the main menu. Our other machines have cylinders under the search option, but cylinders is a great way to find residential keys. Now, you can always search by key blank, but I find that you could probably find the key that you're looking for faster under the cylinders. You type in cylinder, so let's do this as an example, cylinder. Let's just type in a key blank. Like right now I am going under, oop, mistyped. There we go. Schlag. And then you have all the different cylinders for that residential. And then you can organize them by cuts. You can organize them by key code series. I just find that as a faster way of finding the residential key that you would like to cut on your Ninja Total. So go back to the main menu. We have a copy feature, which I'm going to save until a little bit later to show you the benefits of that copy feature. We also have an archive that shows you all the different kinds of keys that you've cut previously. We also have setup and then search. Search gives you all the ones I said previously. You can go look up by serial number, series, key code series, cylinders, vehicles, motorcycle. I know a lot of you out there do cut motorcycle keys, so that's where you'd go to find your motorcycle blanks. I had a call about that earlier today. And then key blanks. Now when we go back and we go to setup, I know we had a couple people wondering, how do you calibrate the Ninja Total? Here's the thing about the Ninja Total. You shouldn't have to. Ninja Total comes pre-calibrated to hundredths of a millimeter. So if it's ever not recognizing the jaw or it's not cutting the key right, give tech support a call. We can usually diagnose why it's not acting or cutting the way you would like it to, or recognizing the jaw. 9 times out of 10, that tracer right there will be slightly bent. That's just foremost, and if it's on over here, it's probably not sitting in the jaw correctly. So, if you ever feel the need that you need to calibrate a Ninja Total, you shouldn't have to. It's one of the benefits of having a Ninja Total is you should not have to calibrate it. We also have a diagnosis button. That's just to test various options to make sure the machine is running smoothly, like motor test, carriage movement, you name it. You could probably find it in here on the diagnosis screen. Updates. We will be coming out with a video eventually, a whole breakdown step-by-step process on how to update your machine, whether it be from scratch, whether it be purchasing the subscription. But that is where you go to update your Ninja Total. We have updates that come out once every 2 or 3 months with the newer vehicles, and we import them into the machine so you can cut like 24s. We also have a default option here. Default is like changing inch, millimeter, inch, millimeter, centimeter. Default region, North America or world, or some cases Europe even. That's pretty much what default does. And then we also have users. If you're an administrator, this is where you go to manage your users, like add on your other employees or change the password into your machine. That's where you go here, and even the language for some of our French and Spanish speakers. And then we have utility. Now, utility is kind of a cool option. It kind of goes through like your key history. You can look up time and date, and it'll give you what key you cut during that point. It also does user ID too, so you can see who logged in and cut what then. We also have network status, replace cutter. Here's the cool part about the Ninja Total. Kind of like the Gymkhana, all you have to do is take out that cutter, put up the new cutter as far as it can go, and you should be good to go. Ninja Total, it's a little bit different though. First things first is you have to hold down this button right here. It holds the shaft in place, and then you loosen the knob on the top, and that cutter falls right out. Now to install the cutter, all you have to do is put it up into the hole as far as it can go, tighten down the side, and tighten the top, and it's good to go. You also have your statistics, you have your date time, you have your restart, system reboot, machine data, delete years of registration. There's a lot of fun features in the utility option. So now that we are done with the setup screen, going through the fact that you don't have to calibrate, how you change out the cutter, and we also searched by cylinders, showing the residential options. Your other search options, let us show decoding and cutting on high security and edge cut side. So as you can see here, I already have the C30 jaw installed. Most high security keys will probably be cut on this jaw. It does come with the machine. It also comes with the A03. That does more so like the Volkswagen keys, the down the middle, depending on the vehicle. Because I do know Ford keys down the middle are also using the C30 jaw. Let's go and decode a Honda key. So Let's go to Vehicles, and then we go to Honda, and then Accord, and then second or third from the top, select the Master Code Series. Now here's your options here. And once you select your year, make, model, you'll have the ability to decode the key. That's if you don't know the code and you have the original. You can put the original key in there. It'll decode it and provide you a code. We have codes. If you know the code directly, it will, you type in the code automatically and it'll pull up the key right away. We also have a direct function. So if you just want to input the cuts, you just hit direct and type in the cuts and it'll cut that key. We also have the modify button. That's if you want to get real technical. Modify does like half cuts, angular cuts. It has a lot of different features on here. The cool part about the Ninja Total is it can do all those fun features. Our other machines can as well. This just gets a little bit more technical on that side. Let's see here. 1/10 of a cut, 1/100th of a cut, half a cut, left angle, you name it. Then we also have the engraving function. You can engrave keys on here. It's a very fun feature. You do need a separate jaw for it, and only for keys that have big enough space that you can actually engrave something on. Like, let's say for Honda keys, like this Honda blank that I'm going to be using, there'd be nowhere for me to engrave on this head, so it wouldn't be able to do it. But let's decode my Honda key. So we hit decode. It tells you exactly what jaw you would like installed in the machine and the placement of that key. So I already have C30 in here. So you can just take it out, slide it all the way back, and tighten down the bolt underneath it. You gotta make sure your jaws and your keys are tight in the machine before you cut them. We're going to install our key like it shows us on the screen. It wants us to use the tip stop, so we're going to slide that tip stop over. We're going to install this Honda key and tighten it down. And then we're going to flip our tracers out. You can notice you got two tracers on that side. You got a longer one, you got a shorter one. The longer one is your regular tracer. The shorter one is how you decode dimple keys. So then we close the shield, then we press next. And it'll tell you once more that it wants the C30, kind of like a double check, and what stop to use. So you press OK. And once it's done, it'll say decode complete. And you know it has decoded the key correctly because it'll give you a code for that key in the top left corner in that code box. Whenever you decode a key, you should always verify that it has a code, which means that the cuts that it read matches that year, make, model for one of those vehicles. Now, let's say you're dealing with the worn key. Since this is a Honda one, I know this happens occasionally. Usually, if you're dealing with a worn Honda key, as I'm trying to select the cut there, it's probably just easier if I use the arrows. There we go. It'll read that 1 on the bottom cut as a 2. If we hit find codes, code not found. Usually that's where it's located at. However, if you don't know, or the key is incredibly worn, all you have to do is take the key, put it up to what it decoded, and usually you can tell by eyeballing it which cuts are bad. And if that's the case, I would just, oh, well, that cut doesn't look good. I don't know if it's a 1 or if it should be a 3, so I'm going to hit question mark, hit find codes, and then it'll give you a list of all the code series that it could possibly be. And right here is M604. We can even go a little bit further back. Like, let's say that cut's also worn. We'll hit a question mark there as well. Find codes. I'm going to do one more. I want to give you a list of multiple keys that it could have been. There we go. Okay, so that's a list of 2 from what those key codes are. But you kind of get the idea of if you don't know what the cuts are because you're dealing with the super warn key on the high security side, you can always hit the question mark and hit find code, so they'll try to find a code for you. You can also do it while doing edge cut keys as well. But the fun part is we have a copy feature on that side, which I'll explain once we get to the edge cut keys. So we decoded this guy. Find codes. It is a N604. Next. Fills in the cuts for us. We're going to hit next. And it's time to cut the key. So we put in the blank. Exactly how it shows us on the screen. It wants us to use the tip stop, so we slide the tip stop in there. Lock it down. Now let's say you forget to move that tracer out of the way before you cut the key. You hit cut. Please retract the right side tracer. Now, after you do that, the screen will say, please put the key on position 180 degrees and close the shield. That just means to flip the key over, so we will brush off all the chips that could possibly be in the way. Flip the key over, same exact spot, and tighten it down. Once it's done, brush away any of the chips. And there you have it. You have your brand new Honda key. I always like to look at the tip on my Honda keys to make sure they make a perfect plus symbol. And that's kind of how you know right off the bat if your Honda key is cut correctly, is if it makes that plus symbol. And I also like to take a wire brush and brush the heck out of them before I put them in the ignition, just to make things smoothly, because as we know, Honda keys are a little finicky. So, once we do that, time to show you the edge cut side. Now, the edge cut side has a very cool feature. We can do it like normal. We can always go by vehicle, make model year. We can type in the code if we know it directly. Well, let's say we got a really worn key right off the bat. In fact, it's a residential key, so we'd have trouble even finding the code series in our software. What you can do is you can take that key, install it in your edge cut jaw. As I'm trying to do this, there we go. That's it. And then we have this wonderful copy feature. Copy's kind of like a mechanical key cutting machine where it's just going to go, it's going to measure the cuts, and if you put the same exact key in there, the blank, it'll follow that line of cuts. So we're going to hit copy. Extract the left side tracer. Okay. And there we have it. It gives us a profile of the key, what it read, and all we have to do is take out this key. Install the new one exactly where the other one was. Please retract the tracer in case you forget to move it to the correct position. Insert the blank in the same position as the original we just did. There we go. Cut complete, please remove the key. Now if it's two-sided, all we have to do is what you should technically do is retrace the other side in case that other side is also worn. Or if you're testing your luck, you can just throw in that key on the opposite side since this is a two-sider and then just put it in the same exact spot. It will cut the same pathway. But it's a fun feature that the Ninja Total has that not a lot of other machines do, is those edge cut keys. It'll slide down just like it would a mechanical key cutting machine. Measure the cuts, you just put the key in the same exact spot, it'll go right down the line. But you can also go through vehicles if you'd like. And let's say we go to Toyota, Camry, edge cut key, and let's say I just know the code. I just go to codes, type in the code. Next, gives me the cuts. Next, put in the key like it wants us on the screen. And this is the edge cut tip stop. You can just slide it in the groove where it would like you to put it. Put in the key like it shows you on the screen. Tighten it down. Make sure that it is flat and tight in there. Close the shield. Hit cut. Make sure that it is in the right position on the right side of the jaw. I'll tell you to remove the tip stop. And there we have it. And we have our new Toyota key. So, there's the next part of the demonstration is that there are a ton of jaws that come with it, or that don't come with it, that are accessories to the Ninja Total because it can cut so many keys. Just want to go over a few of the popular ones right off the bat. We have our A02 jaw, and that one cuts older BMW and Volvo keys. We also have the A03 jaw. That one comes with the machine, but that does like your center cut Volkswagen keys. We also have the AV12 adapter that comes with the machine. That's for those pesky Ford keys that have the skinny that are cut with the milling right towards the base of the key. You just slide out. You just remove this part of the jaw. You slide that one out, slide this one in, and tighten it down, and it grips those keys a lot firmer for more precise cutting. We also have the A13 jaw. The A13 jaw does the new four-sided Volkswagen keys, which you'll start seeing more and more of, where it's cut not only on the top and the bottom, but also cut on the sides. C25 jaw. This one is for engraving. Then we also have the C34. This does tubular keys. And will allow you Harley dealerships like to ask if machines can cut tubular. This one can. Then we also have the C41 that does Tibby keys. So you can cut Tibby keys on this machine as well. We also have several adapters. We have the 8005 adapter. That's for the older style Infinity keys. We also have the 8006 adapter. That is for the 80,000 emergency Toyota Lexus keys. And we also have the 8009 adapter. I think that's for Mercedes keys. And then we also have the Zaddy motorcycle adapter. That's for motorcycle keys. So, if, as you know, motorcycle keys are ever so slightly thinner. This is the adapter for that for this machine. So, there's a key out there. More than likely, there will be a jaw or an adapter that you can use, and this guy can cut it. That is essentially all that I had planned for the Ninja Total. Are there any Q&As for the Ninja Total?
We don't have any questions yet, but let's give people a few minutes. And you guys, if you have any questions, you can just drop them in the video chat and we will get to them.
No questions? That's a first. Yeah, Ninja Total is one of my favorite machines just because it can do so much. It's a little bit more technical. It's not like the Gymkhana with the U-jaw where it gauges the key where it's at and tells you to move it if it's not far enough in the jaw. It's a little bit more precise, but it's really great with those that dimple feature, high security. If you tighten down the bolt, you're good to go. I know a lot of the tinkerers out there, like a lot of like really involved locksmiths like the Ninja Total a lot because they'll find a really out there key in the system. They just order the jaw for it and they can cut it right away. So yeah, that's part of the reason why I like the Ninja Total so much. And also that nice old school mechanical feature is good as well. Get rid of two machines and your mechanical and your electronic and have both of them in there in your van or your shop.
Still no questions. It looks like we've got about 2 minutes left, so we'll let that 2 minutes play out just in case someone thinks of anything else they would like to know. And I will zoom in on the screen so the camera's not on Ed while we wait.
It's a lot of bright lights. All right, I guess if we don't have any questions, I will end this demonstration. But if you do have questions, feel free to contact us. You can contact us at 1-800-891-2118. That's 1-800-891-2118, or you can email us. You can email various email accounts, but to reach me directly, just do tech support at keyline-usa.com. Tech support at keyline-usa.com. I hope to hear from you. If there is any questions that you think of after we end this video, I will be here all day long, and I'll be here tomorrow as well. So I hope to see you at the next video. Don't know what that will be yet. We do have a couple more ideas on what to show in the future, but if you have any recommendations or something you want to see, you can always email us or contact us, and we can try to get a machine demonstration scheduled for the future. So once again, thank you for joining us. Sorry about the technical difficulties earlier, but we got it going, and if you have any other questions, feel free